camera's fine. Here we go.
Okay, let me get this over here.
What?
Are you in my Twitch chat right now? Do you see the chat right now?
No, I don't. Should I let you?
Yeah. You should open the chat. Because first of all, they literally.
Hold on. I actually do. I actually hold on. I think I actually do want to chat. Hold on. Can they see me yet?
They can see you. They can see you. There's.
Can the Twitch chat see me?
They can see you, and I just want. Listen, dude. You know, I don't want to just come out here just going fucking crazy, but
Go
just
crazy.
know, no, just know, I just played a Drake song, and the only thing in my chat was 3 out of 10, bro.
Ugly melon.
Hold on.
Hold on, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving
Chat,
your.
Chat, stop being nice to him. This is the enemy right now. Stop.
Are they? I saw a few people being mean. Are they being nice or are they being mean?
Dude, they're calling you the GOAT.
No, don't call me. We're here for a battle.
Dude, I just listen. I just want to know because listen, I've seen your videos. I've been watching your videos for years. Okay, I just want to know, and like this is truly like I need to know for my own sanity, if this is some kind of genius level act that is, you know, this trolling Drake fans and Drake himself. I just want to know like what this is.
No, I have no conception that Drake even watches my videos or cares. Like I have no. I mean, he's probably a relatively online guy. Like he knows who DJ Academics is, and he knows enough about DJ Academics to know to avoid DJ Academics. So I mean, he's probably seen some of the reviews. I don't know, but like I'm not under the impression that like he really cares. I don't think Drake cares all that much about some weird YouTube reviewer guy. I think he probably has rappers to worry about.
I mean, but even so, if he did care, you would be different. Like that's what I'm like. What do you mean?
No, I mean, if he did care, I wouldn't really change my opinion because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really make my reviews for Drake. I make my reviews for me and opinionated music fans who also just kind of want to get in on the debate and the discourse. That's all. I mean, I don't make my videos for artists at the end of the day. If they see it and they fuck with it, or even if they hate it, that's fine and that's cool. I mean, it's your art and it's your, baby that you're making. You're entitled to hate me or disagree with me. But like, I don't do what I do to, piss artists off or make artists like me.
But do you hold okay, so are you so tough on Drake because you hold him to some higher standard or something, or like what is it? Because I know for a fact there's people making songs that are not nearly as good as Drake's music, and you're giving them higher reviews. And it's like
okay, I want a specific example because honestly, like
example.
I feel
you rated KSI's
I feel
album higher than CLB. You rated
slightly,
KSI
slightly. Look,
dude. You're comparing KSI to Drake, and he's above Drake. That's in your honest opinion. That's what your honest opinion is.
He's above Drake in this instance. I've given like a majority of Drake reviews across Drake's entire catalog. I've given Drake way more positive reviews than I given KSI.
Dude,
I'm talking about this one album, this one instance. If KSI came out with Girls Like Girls, yeah, that song would be shit on his record too.
No. I truly believe if other artists did that, you would find the humor in it, and you'd find the quirkiness in it. But with Drake, it's automatically corny, though.
But with Drake, it's not even that it's corny. But like corny is obviously part of it. But like the other part of Girls Like Girls is that there's no flavor or personality or I guess like, attitude to anything that he's saying. He sounds half the fuck asleep while he's saying all of it. So it's like, what's funny about it?
Dude,
okay, he sounds half the fuck asleep while he's doing it. So where is the humor? Because honestly, like I see your point. I see what you're saying. Like if Danny Brown said that line and then followed it up with a bar about like, I don't know, eating pussy from the back or something, like, okay, then I could kind of see it, you know. But the thing is, like, Drake just sounds asleep at the fucking
That's
wheel while
another
he's
thing I had a problem with watching review is like you're just saying that his energy is low and like all this
yeah, he
stuff.
had
It's
low
like,
energy across the whole
but
LP.
what is he supposed to do? Like, what kind of energy should he have that's gonna be good for you? Because I feel like wouldn't matter what, because there's different energy levels on this whole album, and you still gave it the same. Like, you never. Every single song that had someone else on it, you're like, oh yeah, no, this was completely Kid Cudi's song. Oh, dude, this was Ty Dolla Sign.
Listen,
Thames.
listen. This, like, the energy that he came with on "You Only Live Twice," that was an energy. And you know, granted, like, Drake's always had songs on his albums like Marvin's Room, for example, where it's like super low key and it's super moody, and you know, it's kind of a sadder track and it's
Yeah.
a more introspective track. But like, when he came through with a banger, like, it always had like that super strong, decisive "You Only Live Twice" kind of energy to it. Whether you're talking about headlines, or whether you're talking about Lord Knows. Like, I feel like that level of energy and that level of like precision in his rapping was just like such a rarity on this record. And it was disappointing because of that.
You
You
like
know,
Drake more. You
he
like
didn't,
Drake more like upbeat, kind of like not like laid back. Like you like Drake.
it's it's not even so much more or less because I liked a lot of the aspects of the Ty Dolla Sign song. I wish it had more variation to it, but like, when Drake sings over a good tune, it's great. It's fine. I don't mind a low key Drake track if it's well put together and he sounds engaged and it has a strong melody to it and there's a chorus and there's a narrative I can get behind. That's fine. But
Mhm.
like, you know, I guess I'm not so much into these weird middle of the road songs that I feel like were all over the record. Like, they're not so much sad or depressing or super introspective, but they're not going hard either. I felt like we were just kind of hanging in this weird, you know, in the yellow middle of the road thing for a lot of the LP,
Yeah.
where he wasn't going in one direction, he wasn't going in the other. It was just kind of like a lack of emotion.
So
It wasn't aggression, it wasn't sadness,
yeah.
it was more of an emotional void.
But listen, so you said something that was interesting just now. You were like, oh, if you said, what did you say, Danny Brown or something? Said something.
I use Danny Brown as an example of
Yeah.
somebody who, if you gave him the lesbian bar,
Yeah.
he'd probably do something wacky with it,
But
and it would
someone who
make
like
sense.
who's like your favorite artist? Would you say like a hip hop artist? Like who would you say is like one of your favorite? Because obviously it's not Drake, but who's one of your
Like,
favorite?
yeah, okay. So some artists who I've given really positive reviews to that, you know, you're probably aware of, you know, more contemporaries, like Danny Brown, Kendrick. I'm really into the new Little Sims record. That's
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
Also, oh, you know, people in chat are saying Joey Badass. I do fuck with Joey Badass. Um, I'm trying to think of who else I was into as of. I liked the new Nas LP quite a bit as well. King's Disease too, I thought was really good.
So, but when you
You know,
said when you,
there's a few right there.
I know. So, why can't it just be like, hey guys, listen, I'm starting this review. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Drake. I'm gonna just be honest. I like all these other guys.
But the thing is,
I don't like Drake because you even
I've liked
just
stuff he's
said
done in the past.
you
I've liked
said
stuff
no,
he's done
but
in the
in the
past.
review you literally were like, I don't
I think
care.
if you're reading this is too late is a great mixtape. It's a
Yeah,
great
you
project.
can't deny that. Even if you wanted
There's
to,
so
as a
many
Drake
fucking
hater, you couldn't deny that.
there's so, but no. I listen.
Come on.
Even Drake haters could hate that project.
No, they
I
can't.
hate.
If you
Yes,
hate
they
that,
could.
you get
Yes, they
laughed
could.
at. Like you get
Yes,
like
they could.
ridiculed.
No. I hate this. I hate this argument. There are even some Kendrick fans that make this stupid argument where they say to me, "Well, you're not a real Kendrick fan because you gave T-Pab a 10. Like, you have to give it a 10. You know, you can't give it anything else." No. Like that. Like, I appreciate that project. That project is not so like outside of Drake's. You know, Drake didn't go God mode on that fucking record. Like, it's a very good record, and I feel like it's because he did what he did incredibly well, and it was focused, and it had just like one great chorus after another, super memorable lines, great features he had chemistry with.
Mhm.
Like, there's still choruses on that record to this day that are stuck in my head.
You know what?
Um,
You know what other album, record that has a lot of good choruses and a lot of memorable lines is
what?
Views. And you called that painfully boring, I think?
No,
No, no,
not views. Come
no.
on,
You
like
said
in
views was
like
boring.
if we're tiering like
No,
views
no, don't tier
and,
his albums versus his albums.
take care and nothing was the same. Where does views rank?
Listen, views, if it was someone else's album, that's one of their best albums, if not the
No,
best. It just is.
let's not play with that argument. I hate that
This
argument.
isn't an argument.
Because no, it's a silly argument because I see people make that same shit with like, well, would T-Pab still be a 10 if
No, because you're comparing it to Drake,
Tekashi
who has
6ix9ine made it? Come
legendary
on, that's silly.
like Take
No,
Care.
nobody
If you're
else
reading this
would
too
make
late, nothing was the
views
same.
other than you can't say if somebody else made views because nobody else would make views other than Drake.
Okay, but so if we're talking about like a lot of people are liking to compare Kanye and shit right now. The reason I don't think anyone can be like, yo, this Donda's like top 3 is because Kanye already has legendary albums that will never be surpassed. So that's
Well,
why it's like
I don't think Donda's top 3 in
I
Kanye's
know,
catalog.
yeah, of course it's not. It just
No,
isn't.
I don't think that's the case.
But this is my point is like I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, Views is top 3 because Drake has other good ass albums that can't be surpassed. That doesn't mean Views isn't good, and it definitely doesn't mean Views is painfully boring. Dude, you have to be trolling. You're smiling, laughing right now.
I'm smiling and laughing because, dude, the answer is right in front of your face because Views came right out after freaking, well, not came out immediately, but came out, in succession right after If You're Reading This Is Too Late. And that project has fucking fire from front to back. And Views does not have nearly as many hard-hitting tracks, not nearly as many. The most memorable and catchy song on Views.
With that, bro. Views has literally songs, and I know people say, "Oh, numbers don't matter." There's literally songs on Views that have 1 billion plays on Spotify. These are not like, how is that not a good song? Like, I'm confused.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking up Views right now. Just to refresh my memory. Just to refresh my memory. But like, tell me what song on. But listen, I'm looking it up to refresh my memory. You're the #1 Drake stan. Don't look at the record. You should have that album tattooed on your ass.
Listen.
What song on this record goes harder than Energy?
Oh my God! First of all, what kind of question is that? That's so dumb.
Wait, well, you're telling me it's just as good. What song on this record goes harder or just as hard as Energy?
I would say probably half the album. And then
no. I want a single song, just any song, just name a track, give me a title.
Dude, I mean, well, what do you mean harder? Because these are different types of songs, though. Like,
okay, all right. It's a different type. It's a different type now. It's a different type of thing.
It's not like a go hard type of song, like Faithful, Fire and Desire. Like, these are not like, oh, like fucking Drake going crazy. Like that, but this is my point, bro. You're making a comparison that makes no sense. Like, just say, dude, this is what you can say. Be like, oh, I like when Drake does this. I don't like when he does, like, a Marvin's Room. Just do that, then. Don't just be like, oh, he has no energy, it's ass. He's doing a different type. When Kanye changes his cadence and is doing a different vibe, no one's like, oh, dude, Kanye has no energy and no effort. What? No one does that. No one does it for anyone. Dude, Kendrick Lamar could come on an album and make a fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks voice, and you'll be like, yo, that was fucking genius. Like, come on, bro.
Well, hold on. Some of Kendrick's weird, funny little inflections I have, shat on before. And Kanye West, there have been records from Kanye where I think he has put in little to no effort, or he's been, maybe a little bit to actually like be as on point as he should be. Jesus is King being like prime example. I think Kanye was too off his fucking rocker to put into that record what that record needed to be good. So, like I'm not just, and look, I've been known as a Kanye hater long before I was known as a Drake hater. So,
Well, you were a Kanye hater? What did you give Life of Pablo?
Originally I gave Life of Pablo a 6, and then which I've given some Drake records a 6, but then he fixed the mix, and I thought it was better. I gave it a more positive review after he kind of fixed the mix. But everybody knows that I gave Dark Fantasy a 6, and everybody fucking hates me across the planet for it. So You know,
dude.
I've
But
been
it's
pretty
like
critical of Kanye over the years as
I,
well.
but like I think what this really is I don't think your number one genre of music, and I don't know you personally or what you listen to off stream and off video. I don't think your number one genre is hip hop rap. I think that you're into like weird shit too. Like, is that not like I don't
But
I'm not
what?
gonna
But
say
wait,
weird
what is
shit.
it? What is that? Well, I mean, not only is my most viewed video on the channel a hip hop rap album, and it's an album that I gave a 10 to, but I've been listening to rap all my life. I
No,
mean,
I know
rap
you.
has
I'm
been
saying I'm
around,
saying
you
though.
know, for my entire life. Number one and number two. Um, uh, you know, are you saying that there isn't any weird hip hop or rap music? Like, there's no weird stuff going on in hip
Listen,
hop or
I'm
rap
gonna
that
tell
I
you
might
this.
appreciate
No,
since
no,
I
no.
just
I'm gonna
like
tell you
weird
this.
stuff?
When you made a video, because I told you I've been watching you for years. You made
Yeah,
a video. You always do this. It's like you're like the best singles of the year or something.
yeah.
And like there was a song I found on one of your videos. It was not. It was the most bizarre thing ever. I don't know what it was called, but
You don't
I
know what it
added
was
it to my.
called?
I think. Hold on. It had like there was a girl in the cover. She was like Asian. I don't know the name of it, but it was. Damn. That's probably not specific enough.
It was, yeah, it was probably not.
Yeah, that's not
It
specific enough.
was a look. I mean, I cover a lot of different genres on the channel, and I cover a lot of underground stuff.
Yeah, wait, hold on,
Um,
wait. This is the point I was trying to make, but before I lose my
okay, all right,
train of thought,
yeah.
my train of thought was this, dude. Those two Kanye albums are literally like amazing, and like even if you at one point thought it was a six, they're
Are you talking about Pablo
I'm talking about Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Pablo,
and Pablo? Yeah,
and
I love Pablo.
these are the
I think
ratings out of
Pablo's
10,
great.
right?
I think Pablo's great. Yeah, it's out of 10. But I think Pablo's great. And look, I have reasons why I like, you know, Pablo more than Dark Fantasy, and we don't have to get into that though. But I think Pablo's great.
I do. I just, man, like, my problem is just that I just think it's so. I just think there's just this clear bias, and I think you're trolling. But I don't think you would never say if you were though.
So your argument is that, or ultimately, like what your issue is ultimately is that you think. Look, I think there's kind of a difference between I'm just a hater and I hate Drake and I genuinely have like, you know, negative feelings toward the guy and I couldn't ever give him like, you know, a fair review because I just hate Drake and I have a Drake bias. Or do you genuinely feel like I'm making up my dislike of Drake's music and what I actually
I
like it in
think you're
secret, but I
I
don't want
think
to
you're
admit that I like it for the
no, no,
sake
no. I
of
don't. I actually don't think you like it. I
okay.
think that you're playing into it because you know that it's good for YouTube. Like it's good for. It's just funny. Like it's literally you're gonna have literally 10,000 comments by tomorrow on this video, and this is just the point of YouTube. Like I just think that's why you're doing it. I could like.
I mean, honestly, my review when it's a highly anticipated record, I get lots of comments and engagement, whether it's a positive one or a negative one. And I've seen that across the catalogs of certain artists that I've been covering for years. You know,
No,
whether
but
that
that's the
be
thing. That's the
again
thing, bro.
Kendrick,
I'm
who
telling you, I've
I've
been
given
watching you
positive
for
and negative
years,
reviews
and you do
okay,
genuine reviews. Like you do genuine
okay.
reviews. But I just think the one when I watch you do Drake reviews, something changes, and I think you have like a trolley undertone, bro. That's the only thing. And I'm not even being biased because I also like Kanye.
Look,
Like
I'm not gonna deny the fact that like when I'm doing a Drake review, it am I holding no bars? Like, yeah, I'm not holding any bars. Like I'm not or no or it's no holds barred is what I'd rather
yeah,
say.
you're
Yeah,
gonna go extra hard on
I'm not
Drake.
like I'm not like pulling any punches. Like if it sucks and the reasons that I feel like it sucks, I have no reason not to say, honestly. You know, you know, you know, it's hold no mercy because that's just kind
Wait,
of the attitude that I'm taking with it.
no, right there.
However, you
Because
know,
what? Because what? Like what is it? What is it? That's what I'm looking for. What is it?
because that's what people expect from me. They expect from me if I don't like something to be really honest about it and just you know, look, there are artists out there that honestly have gotten way worse reviews than I think Drake will ever get. Like as even the worst Drake record, in my opinion, will most likely probably never be as bad as like the last Green Day record or the Tones and I album that I just shit on that I gave a 0 out of 10. And I don't think Drake will ever put out an album as bad as Chance the Rapper's The Big Day, which is also one of my most negative reviews ever.
Yeah, that was
You
that
know,
was
so
that was god awful.
so even though I do go hard on these records when I think Drake is like really kind of tripping up, I don't think Drake is ever going to put out an album that's quite that bad, because I think Drake, no matter what he's doing, even if he is going into a project with low energy, he is pretty married to whatever aesthetically is going to appeal to the widest amount of people. Where I think, whereas I think The Big Day, for example, like Chance the Rapper was just like bullshitting, his way through that album and doing any weird fucking horrible idea that came to his head. Which, again, to remind people who might have seen the review or didn't see the review, I do think Way Too Sexy is that bad, though. I do think that's Drake's Hot Shower, if I'm being honest.
Dude, you can't listen to Hot Shower and listen to that. You can think it's corny. Come on, bro. That's a catchy ass song. The Way Too Sexy. It is. Listen. I love Drake. That shit's corny, but it's just funny, bro. He's not doing a hot shower, bro. That was so disrespectful, bro. That was fun. That's actually insane that you would say that out loud.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just how I feel, though. Now I'm looking at I'm looking at some of my reviews, and I don't know, man. Like, some of my reviews I've done of Drake's music in the past, where it's maybe more in the middle, have fine viewership and engagement. One of my most positive, my most positive Drake review, if you're reading this review, that has a fair amount of views, almost 2 million, and the Scorpion review does have over 2 million.
What did you give
But,
Scorpion?
Scorpion I gave a 4, but look, here's the thing. When Scorpion came out, I had more subs than I had when if you're reading this, it's too late came out. Look, what I'm telling you is that whether I'm doing a super positive or a super negative Drake review, I'm not seeing like a huge jump in like, oh, the negative review got way
I'm
more
not.
views.
I'm
So I'm
just
just
saying that
trolling
like
everybody just to get under people's skin.
I don't know, bro. Like you could though. You could just be wanting to just fuck with people, and I feel like you would do that. But the thing is, hold on. Do you honestly believe that Scorpion's better than CLB?
Yeah, why not?
Well, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably had more memorable tracks on it. Yeah, and I feel like the overall vibe of the project was a little better because he didn't seem like as obsessed about the Kanye shit.
That was the other thing I was gonna talk to you about. I want to bring this up because I just absolutely despise the Kanye versus Drake shit online. Just because, like, if I didn't like Kanye, I'd be all for it. But I actually like both of them, so it's hard to be like talking about shit. But why do you think that Drake is like obsessing over Kanye when Kanye's the one like going insane, like tweeting shit, like putting shit on Instagram, like he made like a video like walking under like a train station, like saying like Drake, don't talk about her like that. Like, dude, Drake's not doing anything. Like, what is he doing? He called him old in a song. Like, come on, bro. I don't know.
Well, I mean, look, if I have my opinions about the way the Drake and Pusha T beef and everything kind of played out that a lot of Drake stans probably don't hear, don't want to agree with, and that's fine. But as far as like the Kanye and Drake beef in general and the origins of it, like I think this is all very much like Kanye's doing. I think Kanye is absolutely operating from a place of jealousy. You can see that play out if you're looking at interviews, especially from Kanye about Drake over the years. And there was a point in time where he was happy to engage with Drake, and we're talking like 2010, 2011, like this time frame. Engage with Drake, do beats for Drake, production for Drake or whatever, and Drake was happy to sort of have that engagement. And then as Drake's numbers started like climbing higher and higher and higher, it became really apparent that like Kanye began to see Drake as like a threat of some sort. And I guess you have to sort of understand that maybe for that time Kanye was kind of seeing the writing on the wall, because Kanye was that guy that Drake kind of is now. He was that guy who was almost like that kind of hip hop but also pop crossover who could make songs for a pop audience, and pop audiences kind of loved him for it, but he still kind of had that hip hop legitimacy and cred. And now Drake is kind of like in that spot without, as much like hip hop credibility as Kanye has, but
Okay,
like
of course.
he's still doing the numbers
Uh,
that Kanye wants to do and that Kanye wishes that he was still doing. And I look, Kanye's fucking jealous of Drake, and that's why I feel like a lot of this is kind of going in the direction that it is. Now, even though Drake, I think, kind of took the L during the Pusha situation, I feel like part of the reason that is, Drake still in his heart of hearts probably has like, because of his origins and what inspired him to do what he's doing, he probably still has like some appreciation and on some level like some love for Kanye. Probably like not in a personal sense because Kanye sort of seems in a way like out to destroy him. But
yeah.
at least like from the standpoint of an artist and a fan, you have to like probably still in your heart at that point hold some kind of like love for, who kind of planted the seeds in your head to bring you where you are now. But on a personal level, Drake probably still, right now holds nothing for Kanye. And while I think Drake has made some embarrassing moves, I don't entirely, hate him for it because, despite outside of him obsessing over it too much in his own music, because I think he's probably making the wrong moves because he maybe doesn't want to see Kanye destroyed, or he feels like he doesn't want to push it that far, which is why I think he backed off the last time. And I guess part of the reason that like he kind of backed off last time is because Pusha T was going at him in a way where it wasn't just like wrestling anymore. It wasn't just like about puffing out your chest. He like hit him, and he felt like he had like brass knuckles under the gloves. You know what I mean? And was like, this is kind of fucked up. Like I'm not trying to go this far. You know what I mean? But again, if that's like
But like,
if
then why
that's your
don't?
if that if
But
that's your feeling and
the
that's
thing
your
is, this is the
experience, then
most.
just back off and make your hits. Just
But
back off and
listen,
make your fucking
this is
hits.
the
Because
most
here's the
real.
thing: if the numbers are the only thing that matters at the end of the day, Drake doesn't need to engage in this bullshit to prove that he is winning. All he has to do to beat Kanye at this point is literally just wait him out. That's all Drake has to do, because Drake's continued success, whether he goes at Kanye directly or not, is a sleeper hold. He's going to perpetually hold Kanye in until his career is just done, because he either becomes irrelevant or he is just finished with doing it, or Drake just outdoes him to the point where he doesn't matter anymore. And Drake has moved on because he's 10 years younger to influencing the next generation, and he becomes the Kanye to the next person who's going to carry the mantle. So look, I think it's just kind of silly for Drake to continue to engage in this because he's already kind of won. The writing is on the wall. The numbers speak for themselves. All he has to do is just like continue swimming at the pace that he's swimming. Kanye's already behind. He doesn't need to stop to look back at Kanye and just like splash at him or anything. Just keep going and keep going and keep going.
So why do you think? Why do you think he's doing this then? Like what's the reason?
I think Drake. I mean, Drake's a person. He's also insecure himself, and I think, I heard you kind of scoff earlier about Drake not having the hip hop credibility, and look, that's just an objective statement, and that's not to say that Drake isn't hip hop or that he's not a real rapper or anything, but he's never gained the respect of his elders in the same way that Kanye has, and even though Drake is in a better place than he was in 2011, he still very much like remembers and lives in that time where everybody knew him as the crybaby, and Drake fans the type of this and Drake fans the type of that, to do this, to do that, or Drake the type of guy to do this, or Drake the type of guy to do that. And all the crying jokes and the feminine
I
jokes and the
mean,
gay
but think
jokes
about
and
it.
so on and so
Would
forth.
you?
That
I
that
feel like
that
most
dog
people would be
Drake
like
for
that.
years.
He
That
gets
dog Drake for
clowned. He gets
yeah,
clowned,
no,
bro.
yeah, he was clowned for years, and now he's not clowned particularly in that way to the degree that he used to be. And all I'm saying is like I feel like in Drake's attitude, he still kind of carries those scars. And even when he's winning, he has to remind us that even when he's winning and he's like the most widely accepted thing in the music industry, period. Not even just in hip hop, in the music industry, period. Like he needs to continue portraying himself as like, oh, I'm the outsider, I'm the underdog, I'm, you know, I have no friends in the industry, I have no this, I have no, like, bro,
Bro, what if he
like,
feels like that, bro?
it
Like,
doesn't matter if you feel like that. Some
what?
people don't like. What if Kanye feels like he's Jesus Christ tomorrow morning? Like
Well,
we
I
know
mean,
he's
he's
crazy.
called himself
We would
Jesus
know he's
Christ.
crazy. So it's like, you know, so in a way, Drake is living in his own fantasy, because
But
again,
how is
he's
that
the
a
most
fantasy if that's how
widely
he really
he's
feels, though?
it doesn't matter if he feels that way. You could still be feeling it. Your feelings can lie to you. Like, have you ever had depression?
Your feelings can oh, so what? What about depression?
Well, your depression can trick you into thinking that you're worthless and you're trash and you're garbage and you're
That's
this and you're
true.
that, and
That's
that's
true.
just all a lie made up in your own head. And you know, people can be paranoid for no reason. People can be people can experience a lot of different feelings for no reason. And I think Drake, you know, partially because it's a narrative that I think sells, but also personally, probably feels like, as you were saying, I'm lonely. I don't have friends. I don't have this. I don't have that. When you know, maybe that's kind of a personal problem. Maybe it's not because the whole industry is against you at this point,
So,
when in
so if you,
reality, again, you're the most widely accepted thing in popular music now.
that's debatable because of how much people still, talk shit. But listen, it when you listen to Drake, like, do you not believe what he's saying? Because when I listen to him, and I'm not being biased, like I believe the shit he's saying. Like I think that's how he really feels.
I would say on this record I had the toughest time that I've ever had doing that on this record. But I would say
Really?
generally yes. Like
Okay.
honestly, when I listen to records like Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, even Views, you know, I don't really tend to personally take into question a lot of what Drake is saying. I don't really uh, feel like, oh, he's not saying anything real. He's not, speaking reality. He's not doing this. I don't feel like I'm being like lied to my face. I mean, I feel like Drake, just like anybody, is kind of putting forward a narrative. And look, we're just like listening to rappers at the end of the day. Just because we listen to somebody rap on a track and give us some images of their life, it doesn't mean we know them or understand them fully. I mean, for a lot of artists, we're kind of hearing like the lyrical equivalent to an Instagram feed, and they're only showing us their triumphs, or they're only showing us their failures when they can kind of angle it or portray it in a certain way that makes them compelling or sympathetic or this
Yeah.
or that. We're not seeing these people in their boring moments. We're not seeing these people in their everyday moments. We're not seeing Drake take a fucking shit on the toilet. You know what I mean? um but with
But what?
Drake, like anybody, there's narrative weaving. But with his previous records, I didn't really get the feeling that I'm being lied to. But when Drake opens up his record with like, I've been hot since the birth of my son, I'm unfazed, that's a fucking lie. He is totally fucking phased. He's nothing but phased.
But come on, man. You know what it's. Come on, bro. Like, you literally want him to be more confident. Like that's what you're basically saying. And then he tries to be
Okay.
confident and say it, and you're like, oh, dude, no, you're lying. It's like,
No,
dude,
no, no,
what do
no.
you want him
You
to
can be
say,
confident. You can
bro?
be confident without lying.
What
You
do
can be
you mean?
confident without lying.
Okay, so how else is he supposed to be confident about that?
He could look through his actions. He could display that it's not getting to him. Like he could even say like, look, they got me. That he could even say in the equivalent of a rap verse, they got me that one time, but I'm still doing numbers. They got me that one time, but I'm still ahead. They got me that one time, but they can't get me off the throne. There's lots of things that you could say. I had to back off this, but I'm back on the throne. I had to back off the beef, but I'm back on the throne. Like say fucking anything. It's like I'm scarred, but I'm not this. There's tons of different ways that you could spin that. That's just like honest to the situation. Like just, but when he's not fully honest and he's telling us that he's unfazed, when he can't stop like obsessing over this thing and mentioning this thing that honestly like we would forget about the Adidon shit if he would just stop bringing it up at this point. Like it
Yeah,
wouldn't
I'm
even
gonna
be a
be
thing.
honest. I'm gonna be honest, and this is my one criticism with since Scorpion. I I guess it's me personally. Like when I want to listen to a Drake thing, I don't want to. I don't want him to like talk about his son, and that might be like, I don't know if that's fucked up, chat, but like maybe on like an outro type song. But when he says like co-parent of the year and shit like that, I'm like, I just don't want to hear that, bro. Maybe say it one time, but I don't want to hear co-parent of the year. But that's my only criticism, and I guess that's the only thing I can agree with like, yeah, like don't bring up the kid thing all the time. Um, and but besides that, like, nah, bro, like that's I I, I don't know. I don't know why you can't and other people can't go
On,
into a Drake
to,
album. And hold
to
on,
an- to an-
yeah,
to
go ahead.
respond to what you just said, I'm generally fine with him mentioning his son. I guess it depends on how he does it. Like, I think if he wants to, especially since he's portrayed himself up to this point as this guy who's like the most honest rapper. He's letting us in on everything that's happening to him. I don't see anything wrong with him telling us about his son or doing some dad bars here and there. I think that's cute. I think that's fine. I think that honestly, I think parenthood isn't glorified or platformed enough in hip hop and in popular music. Popular music just in general. And I think, it's significant for someone on Drake's level to be, kind of platforming that as well. The one line on the record that did get to me,
Dude, you
and
gotta
and
be no,
and,
you're.
and this
I
and this was an honest moment on the record, but like the I think it was the last track, the bar that he dropped about like having an unwanted pregnancy and so on and so forth, and like kind of putting it the way that he put it felt like a little raw and a little weird. And it's the sort of thing that I was thinking, like, if that was my kid and he like heard that bar like when he was 15 and he went back and listened to my record, he probably wouldn't feel
I
too
think
good
I know
about it.
exactly where you're. There's a. I think it was on fucking fans, and he said like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Oh, I
yeah,
had a kid, and I know you didn't like that," something like that. And
yeah,
it's like a mistake. It's like that's kind of like, like when he's
yeah.
gonna hear
you,
that,
you know you
like,
know you have I think by comparison you have to look at like a guy like Jay-Z, who after he had a daughter publicly and in his own music, like in his literally in his own bars, he was having like a series of almost like come to Jesus moments where he was like, starting to see like his old content and some of the, what some people would probably characterize as like misogyny in his bars and everything. And sort of, that coming into context for him, and thinking about that now that he is a dad. And I think he kind of handled that with, a certain level of grace. And I hope that with time Drake gets there as well. But I feel like he's kind of struggling to get to that point,
I think
because
Drake will,
that
but
that that bar I don't think went over very well. And again, like if I was Drake's kid 15 years from now, I wouldn't feel too good about that bar.
yeah, and I know I can hear the Jay-Z thing. He was like, literally like almost speaking to his daughter or something, and like, I think it was like some Watch the Throne. I don't know, it was something, but yeah, I know what you're saying, but fuck, what was I about to say? Yeah, I think that Drake is just not there. Like he's not like a traditional parent right now, like with a family and shit. So I think that's why it's different
Sure.
because he's still like a playboy or something. You know what I mean? That's why it's like
Yeah,
different.
I mean, he's probably wrestling with a lot of things because he has an image he wants to portray to people, but there's probably a reality to that image that he wants to continue living, and he, is also kind of it's also hitting them that he has to be a parent and be, present in the way that a parent needs to be. He's probably figuring things out, and how much to let us in on any of that. Maybe he's thinking I have a lot of fans that don't want to hear fucking bars about my son. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not in Drake's head, but like, there's a lot of things he could be thinking, and I don't know. Maybe that's one of them.
I'm seeing in the chat, guys. Are you saying? Oh, you said the song TSU was horrible or something.
Yeah, TSU came off a little weird to me, like narratively. And not that I think that Drake had like the worst intentions with it, but I think the way that it was, I think it's kind of a tone deaf
You said
song for
okay. No, no.
right
This
now.
way. Oh no, wait. Hold on. I remember what you said. I remember what you said. You said that he said something about paying for sexual favors. Is that what?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
he was talking about, sort of supporting this woman and, sort of their association together, being sexual as well. Yeah.
But that's no. He's supporting. He supports her. Not that he's paying like it's a prostitute or like what? That
Well,
how is
not literally in a prostitution kind of way, but like, I mean, this is not anything new to any of you. I mean, other rappers have rapped about this exact thing before, where they kind of become like it's like a sugar daddy situation.
okay, so this is how I interpreted it, and I just want to like and already told you guys this, but the way I interpreted that song was that it's like it's almost like a thing where it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money someone has, it's just a human to human thing. And even though that is Drake, it's this random like dancer or something, whatever. Like this isn't a celebrity, and he's just that song just is like him supporting this girl or something, and he's like happy for her like growing or something. That's what I heard from it. I don't know, like what I don't know, like why is that funny? Like that's just not.
No, that's like she's a stripper that he's like, you know, in a sexual kind of sugar daddy relationship
But
with.
why
She's
does
not
it?
his
No, it's
kid.
not.
He's not looking at her like, you know,
Why
he's
are you
raising her. He
assuming
should
it's
be
like
raising his
that?
son like that instead.
Why are you
Like
assuming it's like that?
here's what I don't get, or what I think is kind of weird about these, like, you know, these situations and these types of relationships. Like if you're at the top of the fucking world,
Yeah.
you're at the top of the fucking world. Like, why wouldn't you just be like, I'm trying to think
Are you gonna
of.
say why would you not mess with a stripper? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, it's not really about like not wanting to mess with a stripper, because, you know, I don't look at sex workers that way or see people who are strippers or doing that line of work as disgusting. It's not really about like, you know, strippers or whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
more about like, you know, the power dynamic that you would run across being at Drake's level of fame and influence and trying to, you know, sort of run this kind of relationship with anybody. It doesn't have to be a stripper. I guess, like, you know, the only thing that comes to mind is Beyonce, but obviously like Beyonce is taken. But like if you're at Drake's level of popularity and fame and success, like why wouldn't you want to be like, why would you waste your fucking time just like throwing all your money away on random girls who you're not going to like pursue any sort of relationship with or anything? This is just like a short time thing. Why wouldn't you want to build like an empire with a Beyonce? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you just be like, I'm not going to just like randomly impregnate, you know, fucking fans or whoever the fuck else I run across and so on and so forth? Why don't you find somebody who's at your talent level, your influence level, your economic level, and like become a Jay-Z, like, and obviously Jay-Z and Beyonce have their issues, but like, you know, any marriage is going to. But like, why wouldn't you want to build a fucking empire with somebody who's just as talented and as you know, perceptive and as you know, I guess like, you know, world domination potential as you do, as you
Yeah.
are.
I
You know,
think I think
it just kind of seems like, you know, a waste.
I think a couple things too. I think he tried, and I don't. Obviously, we don't know this shit. I mean, I think he tried with Rihanna or something. I don't know what happened with that. But the other thing is this: are you trying to say that like, you know, like a celebrity or someone like of that stature, like, is it like not possible to have a relationship with somebody who is a quote unquote normal person?
I think it's possible, but when that relationship is, even in the way that Drake describes it on the song, like predicated entirely on just like sex and some kind of like monetary interaction, then no, that's not a normal relationship. Like, and look, there are YouTubers who have had storied pasts and, you know, sort of like scenarios just like this, who, you know, they run into some money and they're essentially paying women to hang around them all the time, and then it becomes like a public or a social blow up that's embarrassing for them because, oh, I'm really upset because the woman who I was paying to be around me all the time doesn't actually like me. It turns out she just liked me for my money. So it's like, so no, it's not a normal relationship. It's not a normal loving relationship where you're with the person or appreciating the person for who they are.
So I mean, then at that point, you're basically just saying like the only person who could really care about Drake, or if Drake could care about whatever, or even any celebrity, is just that you need to be on the same level as someone.
It doesn't have to be. Look at some other examples. Chance the Rapper is with his, you know, significant other who, you know, is not a famous person, just his regular ass girlfriend. Kendrick Lamar is with his high school sweetheart. You know, you don't have to be with somebody who's just as famous as you. But the thing is, like, if you know, you're in Drake's position. I was just sort of, you know, throwing the Beyonce thing out there as like a possibility. You know, of
Yeah.
course, there's always the chance for Drake to meet some normal average person who is an accountant, and really loves him for him, and and he loves her for her,
Fuck
and
is-
that's all.
Jesus Christ.
Of course there's the possibility of that. Of course there's the possibility of that. But like, again, if that's going to be the case, though, it can't be predicated on Drake's fame. It can't be predicated on how much money Drake can offer her to hang around him at any given time, and it can't be just predicated on how much we're fucking all the time. And hey, look, fucking is great, and one night stands are fine, and be as sexually liberated as you want to be. But look, here's the thing: like, Drake is 34, has a kid out of wedlock that he didn't plan. He's not going to be the certified lover boy forever. He's already kind of pushing, the fact that he's 34, calling himself a boy. He's already kind of pushing it. Like, he's already kind of pushing it. How long is he going to go, sort of like in this bachelor status, to the point where it's kind of sad,
Fuck, man. This is literally. How did this. We're talking about music, and now we're somehow into like. How much longer is Drake gonna live this bachelor life? Like, what did this just become, bro? All from him saying he's a lesbian too. This is.
I think we're all having a come to Jesus. I think we're all just kind of having a come to Jesus moment. That's all.
This is another thing too, and someone, I was talking to my friend about this, and if you listen to the album, it's like Drake has all the shit he's achieved, but he sounds sad though. Like does he not sound like upset a lot? Like, he sounds like not happy.
Well, that's about all of his narratives about having no friends and so on and so forth. And maybe he does genuinely feel lonely. But I mean, it's like a tale as old as time that having money or having success doesn't automatically make you happy. I mean, the fact of the matter is that doing really well for yourself economically, especially on the level that Drake does, is probably isolating. Like, Drake can't go to the fucking grocery store. That's what makes the probability of him probably running into that accountant that might love him for him probably really difficult, because he's not running into any accountants in grocery stores, and if he's running into average or regular people, it's probably in a place where it's more accepting for a person like him to show up, like at a strip club. So it's probably a really weird and isolating situation. But again, that doesn't mean that Drake is without options or without hope. He has probably a wide array of options in the celebrity world that he could, maybe pursue, because he is champagne poppy. There's maybe a lot of he talks about the supermodels doing coke that he's hanging out with. I mean, maybe you could get one of them off the coke and date a supermodel.
Hey, all I know is, I think when it's finally figured out, when he he said in one of the lines in the song, his soulmate's out there just waiting for him, whatever, right? I think when it's all said and done, I think that's when we'll see another chapter of Drake's career. Because he is so talented at writing and all this shit, that I think that I don't know. Like, I just don't know what it'll be though. That's the thing. I just don't know, like, because all we've known is Drake as like a single guy, like, in his music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would look like Drake being wifed up. Like, what would his music be? I don't know, dude. I don't know. And maybe he doesn't even want to go down that path, because he's like, fuck, I'm making so much money and I'm so successful like this. And it's probably, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I think.
Yeah,
Guys,
I mean, look, it's
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
A more domesticated Drake, or more domesticated rappers, like, across the board, is new and unfamiliar territory, because I feel like with the age of the genre, we're still kind of like adjusting to the fact that we have guys who are 50 and 60 now who are still rapping and still putting out, like, good stuff, but like being at that age, it feels kind of weird, sort of like accepting more, I guess, like aging narratives, family narratives, because they're still kind of, new. Hip hop is still a very young genre, and the way that it's marketed, it's still marketed toward a very young audience.
That's
So,
why so many successful rappers are so young. That's because
but Drake is the most successful artist, period. And I think that there is, potentially, look, if Drake had come out with like a completely, in my opinion, an ass record where he barely even tried and people still listen to it and love it, I don't know. I think Drake could probably take a risk and come out with a record where he goes, head first into fatherhood and being wifed up and rapping about that as well. Because hey, look, listen, if Drake if Drake got married, let's say Drake married his baby mom, because she looks great. She's probably a great mom. Let's say Drake married his baby mom and he fixed the relationship and got it working and stayed with her and so on and so forth, and it worked out and they became like a power couple and everything. That's one thing he'd have over Kanye. Kanye can't even keep the marriage together. So, maybe he can flex on Kanye that way.
Dude, I don't know. Cause there was I don't know how long. Do you like J. Cole? I never asked you that.
I think J. Cole's pretty decent. I think his new record is probably his best so far.
Like, what do you mean, ever?
Yeah, it's my favorite project he's done so far.
Oh God! All right, well, I'm not even gonna get into
that.
Did
you think the new one was bad?
It's not bad, but it's not his best.
It's what it's not. It's not 20. It's not 2014.
Troll hip hop rap.
I'm not trolling you. I'm not trolling you. Dude, I just thought the record was good. I'm just saying in your mind you probably think 2014 is better.
Yeah, and even the
And what in your eyes?
Yeah. I forgot the name. But what I was gonna say is, even hearing like J. Cole do a song about like folding clothes and doing laundry and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see Drake do that, bro. Like, I'm gonna just be honest. I don't want to see that happen.
But what do you want him to rap about? Because here's the thing. On this record, he's spitting and singing about the same shit he's been spitting and singing about for the past 5 years, and it's like putting him in a dead end. Like, he sounds really fucking sad with it because it's not new. It's not fulfilling. He's like literally just like, digging himself into a deeper version of the same grave. And like, it's not fun.
Why can't I just enjoy this fucking album, bro?
You can. No, I'm not stopping you from enjoying it. I just did a review that you voluntarily clicked on.
No. Because now every time I hear this shit now, I'm gonna be like, damn, is Drake sad as fuck at home? Like, I'm gonna just think about that now.
The answer is probably yes. Probably not. Probably not. He's probably. What I hope for Drake is that he is finding fulfillment in doing the dad thing. I hope he is. And from some of the stuff that he's posted about it, maybe he is. I hope he is.
Listen. Oh my God. I don't know. Have you been reading this chat? Because
yeah, no, I've had the chat on my screen rolling by me for the entirety of this conversation on OBS. I've been recording it for the past 50 minutes.
I don't know. I guess we could, if we wanna wrap this up.
If we can wrap this up with you shouting out my Twitch page.
Listen. Is this gonna be a video, by the way?
Yeah, it's hell. I asked you if I could record it.
Okay, well then that's Hey guys, say hi to YouTube. Yeah, no, hold on. Before anything, let me just end it on this type of note, okay? All I'm saying is, sometimes in this, doing this social media shit, you've been doing this for how many years?
I've been doing the needle drop in some way, shape, or form since like 2017. Not 2017, 2007. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, wait, what? Okay, so you've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for like 6-7 years. It gets to a point where, dude, you're an intelligent guy. Like, sometimes you don't realize how, like, when you start this off, you're like, oh, dude, I don't think Drake, like, listens to this. Dude, I'm 100% positive Drake has heard your reviews and all, like, the big dudes who do, like, reviews on YouTube, right? So all I'm saying is that as a Drake fan, you're like a little too reckless, and your voice, like, it carries. Are you frozen right now? I get for trying to get deep with this motherfucker, bro. This is what I get. This is literally what I get. I try to go full on, like, deep as fuck, and this is it. Fuck you, dude. Oh wait, he just said his internet dropped. All right, well that's not as funny. Hold on, he's gonna come back and then we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it off. We're gonna end it off. But I am gonna run a fucking ad on these plebs talking shit. I got owned. Yeah, road to 14,000 subs. Sub to the stream. It's 20% off, by the way. It really supports.
Yo, hello?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It was actually really funny because I started getting deep, and then you were just frozen, and I was talking to myself for like a minute straight. Um,
I'm sorry I missed you. I missed you getting deep.
what was the last thing you heard me say?
I forget. My internet just like shit the fucking bed, and it distracted me and put me in a panic mode, and I totally forgot what you were saying.
I'll just say that sometimes in this, you're doing the social media for a long time. You don't
Yeah, that was
realize
the
how,
last thing I remember you saying. Yeah.
you don't realize how big you really get. But you're really smart, so you probably understand. But sometimes people don't really understand how much of an impact what they say has. And when you're
That's
like,
true.
oh no, like I don't know if Drake hears it. No, I guarantee you Drake's heard your shit, and other people review music and shit. And because if I'm a Drake fan and I try to look for reviews, I'm sure Drake himself is. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is this. I just think when you talk about Drake and some certain people, I think you're a little too harsh. And I don't know if it's trolling. I don't know if it's really what you really mean, but like that's all I'm saying. I think it's just it's kind of insane. And to be honest, um there's a lot. I don't know. I've seen a lot of fucking hate on fucking Twitter,
Mm.
and I'm not saying like you're causing hate. I'm saying that it's just you have a large audience. That's all I'm saying. And
I don't disagree with that, and you know what? I guess like the way I approach my reviews, and you know this is an accurate assessment on your part, but the way I approach my reviews in my head is, you know, like mentally I'm in my own little space, in my own little community, and so on and so forth. But that's not true. That's not true. I have millions of subscribers. Everything that I say echoes out into the greater internet, and you know, I guess like not that that freaks me out or anything. It doesn't, but like I don't want to like think about too much or worry too much about like, or you know, obsess over the idea that like, ooh, Drake is watching. What's Drake gonna think? You
no,
know, about like
that's not even.
what I
Yeah,
made or what I said. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I'm not saying that's what, you know, you're arguing. I'm just saying like that's not something I want to, um, I guess like concern myself with too much, because ultimately like I'm not trying to communicate to Drake anyway at the end of the day, because you know I would hope that you know, Drake wouldn't put out a product if he didn't believe in it. And I I don't know. I think that my words shouldn't or wouldn't get to anybody who knows what they made and they're confident in what they made. You know, like regardless of what I've said.
Yeah, so then I think I could just end on this. I'm getting called a Karen for some reason. Chad, get the fuck off my dick. But the only this is how I'm gonna end it is, all I just hope is that in these reviews, it's just you being 100%, and it's not you know, an agenda or something. That's all. That's all I could hope. I kind of think there's some kind of like funny thing going on, but listen, if you're telling me nah, this is just my honest opinion, then all right, that's fine. Then you know, we could agree to disagree on some of those things, but I the shit we talked about, I think it was a good conversation. I think people loved it. Um and yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. Is there anything
I, I,
else you
I think it was a good combo too. I was excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me on, and remember to plug my Twitch page.
Dude, I got hey mods spam his Twitch page um in the comments, guys. Follow him. I've seen you do like new music. What is it, like on Fridays?
New Music Fridays, and
New
we do
music Fridays.
interviews and some other things too. But you know, we mostly do interviews and New Music Fridays.
Yeah, check him out, chat. Cause you know, like I said, I've been watching him for years. We differ on the Drake opinion, but besides that, you know, good good videos and funny Twitter follow, to be honest.
Thank you.
All right, man. Listen, I hope listen, if you actually post this on whatever, I can't wait to read the comments on this. It's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be amazing.
All right, bro. Hey, appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Chat, what you think? It's really, to be honest, getting into an altercation with somebody is a lot harder to do when like I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like I didn't like, I don't know. I think some people wanted me to like fight him or something, but I just didn't want to fight him. And I think that worked out because I think we had a good conversation, you know? So yeah, I'm getting told that I got swept and I'm a Karen and all this shit, but I think it ultimately led to a good conversation. Look at how am I now? I'm talking like, what the fuck? I'm saying ultimately and shit. Dude, I can't talk to this dude anymore, bro. I'm maybe just every once in a while. I can't talk to him all the time. I'm saying words that I would never, like, I think I said enthusiasm before. What the fuck? Nah, dude, Kobe, get back in here, bro. But yeah, so I think that was good. I think dude, JP, that might be 2 uploads, bro. I mean, I don't think you could put that in 1 upload. I mean, you could put my reaction and then that, but that's a long